All right. Thank you all for being here today. We're going to jump in and talk about our exciting announcement for the day. We are here to announce the launch of Connect Newark, a Newark fiber collaboration with Andrena to bring high-speed, low-cost internet to units across the Newark Housing Authority. As we all know too well, the need for internet is not a luxury or nice to have, but a necessity for everyday living. Every household, family, and resident in Newark deserves access to high-speed internet. This project started last spring with a request for collaboration to bring new competitive internet providers to Newark to help connect those that are underconnected. Andrena was chosen as our first partner, who we're excited to announce today. This effort is part of a number of broadband initiatives the city has pursued to help close the digital divide, whether it's connecting Hope Village 2, the home for residents without addresses, or adding Wi-Fi to Halsey Street in partnership with Rutgers Newark, to promoting the federal Affordable Connectivity Program. Newark is focused on increasing connectivity, increasing competition, and getting every resident online. Our economy and community is stronger when we're connected. This effort is also an example of how to align the city's multiple priorities by ensuring that Newark Fiber was used to support Andrena's service, ensuring that those most in need were prioritized, and ensuring that Newark residents were trained and hired in the installation process. I want to give a shout out to Sharonda Carroll and Anthony Avent with the city's Office of Information Technology, who have been working on Newark Fiber and the project for some time. To Gig Zero, Technogrid, and Andrena for their work to make this physically happen, and to also recognize Newark Housing Authority Chairwoman Norma Gonzalez, who's here today as well. With that, I'm honored to introduce the mayor of this great city of Newark, Mayor Raz Baraka.
So I want to introduce the new director of the Housing Authority is here as well. So I don't really need that. So he's over there. Hey, how you doing, brother? Want to give him a shout out in this process. So we heard President Biden say something that we knew for a long time in the city of Newark, that the internet was no longer a luxury, that in fact it was a necessity, that it was important for us to get internet access to every American, to make sure they have access to opportunity, to jobs, to the economy, to education, that it was a necessity for all of us. And I think it became clear to the country and to the world during COVID how real this actually was. And I know in Newark we told a story over and over again of how young people were forced to go to distance learning and had no ability to learn at a distance. That they did not have access to the internet, not just hardware, but to the actual internet. That some of them had to put their phones or their computers out of the window in order to use other people's internet in order to get online so they can do distance learning at home. This is a travesty, particularly in an area that has high access to internet in the state of New Jersey. Sometimes people say because we have access to the internet in Newark that we are not as big of a problem as rural areas in the state. But the reality is if you can't afford the internet in your city, then you might as well not have it anyway, because it's close to you, you just can't touch it, right? You can't use it because it's not cost effective for your family to pay the rent, to put food on the table and pay $180 or $80 or $200 for the internet, for service in your home. So today is an amazing opportunity. I want to thank InvestWork, our IT department that was already mentioned, all the folks that came together to make this a reality, the Newark Housing Authority, Director Spicer, and all of the folks for allowing us to use the Housing Authority to be able to connect to residents here who are going to be able to use the internet here for, I believe, as low as $20. That's amazing. That's amazing. It's amazing because even with the federal government's program, the cost drops to $30. So we're doing even better than that. We're $10 cheaper than what they're offering. So prayerfully, everybody in these housing authority buildings will be able to have access to the internet, and it'll give us the opportunity to begin figuring out how to expand this citywide so that all of the residents of our city have access to low-cost, high-speed internet. They can save some of that money to invest in other things that they need: groceries, education, rent, mortgage, that they should be making sure that their family and their health and wellness is better, and not spending their money on the internet. I know a lot of the, internet providers are not going to be excited about what we're saying today, but it is completely and absolutely necessary for us to do this work that we're doing. So I'm incredibly, incredibly excited about this. Looking forward to more expansion of this in the future. So God bless y'all. Thank you for coming out, and thank you for giving the people in Newark an opportunity to improve their lives.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I also want to recognize Invest Newark board members Kevin Callahan and Basola Taiwo for being here as well. Thank you. It's my also next honor to introduce the CEO of Andrena, Neil Chatterjee.
Hey everyone, it's a pleasure to be here today. First, I'd like to thank the Mayor Baraka for housing this event today, just so we can celebrate all the great work being done in Newark, just to bring affordable internet to all. I'd also want to thank everybody from the Newark Alliance and Invest Newark for having me here to speak as we celebrate this incredible step forward for what ought to be a model for municipalities all across the country. Sharonda Carroll, Kevin Collins, Anthony Avant, Aaron Meyerson, thank you guys so much for all of the hard work you guys have done just to get to this to where it is today. And final thank you to the Newark Fiber team, but also the incredible team at Andrena for bringing this all together here. Thank you guys for having me here, and we'll get right into it. So the network that Andrena has built here in collaboration with Newark, I think it represents an evolution in internet networks all across the country. Ultimately, what we're using high-speed wireless radios to build this network that beams internet through the air that is connecting these housing authority buildings to make a new type of internet. It's a type of internet that is not only cheaper, but more convenient. Residents are able to sign up and get online without even requiring a technician visit to come to their home. So what this means is pretty simple yet profound. It allows us to bring high-speed affordable internet to the residents of the Newark Housing Authority at a fraction of a cost. And at a fraction of the time that would take, it might take another legacy provider to bring internet here. The residents now have a more convenient and cheaper way to connect to the internet than ever before. The wireless network we have built here can serve as a platform for all future connectivity needs that the communities will have, whether it's IoT, connected homes, and more. These communities are going to become connected hubs for the entirety of Newark. And having this opportunity to build this next generation network, it really aligns closely to how when we started Andrena, what our original vision was. When we started Andrena, the vision was pretty simple. We wanted it, and we believed that internet was a right and not a luxury. Everything that the folks here have been saying for quite a while now. We want everyone to have access to all of the amazing things that the internet offers, from jobs to education to healthcare. And I grew up on the internet. I was a 90s kid. So when I grew up on the internet, I loved that thing. And I just wanted to be able to have a chance to share my love of the internet with everybody here. So when we originally started our network in Princeton and then expanded to Hoboken, we were fortunate enough to be given a chance to expand our network elsewhere. And we quickly realized what an incredible opportunity it would be to bring our affordable internet to Newark. And the reason that all of that was pretty simple. It's because the vision for the company Andrena ever since day one in 2016 always aligned with Mayor Baraka's vision here for connectivity. And when you look at the history that Newark has had for connectivity, even before Andrena came to Newark, there have been so many initiatives that have demonstrated Newark's commitment to connectivity. From Newark Fiber leveraging its municipal fiber to provide affordable internet, to Link Newark providing its public Wi-Fi kiosks, the public school programs for providing laptops to students, and Newark's advocacy for ACP, all during the height of COVID. It's clear that Newark has been prioritizing connectivity in a way that few municipalities actually do. And so as you know, we have a whole bunch of reporters here telling a bunch of good stories. I think the real story here is that this is one small piece of a much larger initiative. And that big story here is that Newark is a national leader when it comes to connectivity. And so ultimately, thanks guys for having me here. That's all I really got for you guys. I grew up 10 minutes from here. I went to college at NJIT, and so did my parents who are here. So being able to give back to the community has truly been an honor. Thanks to you all for creating a community that is so welcoming of entrepreneurs like myself, and thank you for your commitment to connectivity. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Newark has got next, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neil, and thank you for your team for investing in Newark. Our next speaker, I'm honored to introduce the Executive Director of the Newark Housing Authority, Leonard Spicer. This would not be possible without the close partnership of the Newark Housing Authority, their property management, and executives. We really appreciate your partnership, so thank you for being here, Leonard.
Thank you. Good morning. So real quick, I want to first thank our commissioners. Without having a vision to implement this policy for the agency, we wouldn't be able to be here today to provide this for our residents. But also I want to thank our various partners, the City of Newark, Andrena, Invest Newark, and the Newark Alliance. Together, we are able to make change happen, and we have to continue these partnerships, and I look forward to be able to continue these partnerships. I'm going to echo a lot of what the mayor said. I think he and I had the same writer, because almost item by item, I was like, oh okay. But really, as we learned during COVID, this is a necessity. This is not a luxury. We live in a society now where you have to be connected to get things done. So often we hear when we talk to various service providers, various entities of, hey, just go onto our website. If you go onto our mobile app, you're able to do everything. But if you don't have that, the assumption is always that people have these things, then you're back at square one. So this is our first foyer in public housing here to ensure that our residents, that the community has access to these, what we now consider basic necessities of life. So we really appreciate having this opportunity to begin to start it here, but to also expand it throughout our developments and our properties throughout the city of Newark. We also look to continue to bolster on this relationship as we see this is a part of the fabric of the community. As the mayor mentioned, this is something that's going on all around us. So we really want to continue to elevate this partnership, to expand on it with the cities and the various other partners, collaboration going forward to ensure that we are able to provide this for all of our communities. As you all know, we don't only have public housing units, but we also have vouchers where individuals who are living in private residence. So this is something that we'll be bridging with Andrena in the future of how we can expand this to those individuals, which just kind of piggybacks on what the mayor was saying of being able to provide this for all of Newark, no matter where you live. So looking forward, we continue to hope that we can expand this partnership to our other public housing developments in the near future. When I say near future, I'm thinking 2024. Right? But also, let's not talk about years down the road. We have people we need to service today, but also to expand it further. So again, I'm going to cut it short because the mayor touched on a lot of the things I already had, so I'm not going to echo that. But I do believe that we are closely aligned with the vision of the city, as well as with Invest Newark and the Newark Alliance, as well as Andrena, providing as many services, expanding this service to touch on as many residents, as many lives as we can. So really appreciate you all coming out this morning and look forward to having more of these conversations in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Executive Director. And we are here in the South Ward, and so we're honored to have Council Member Patrick Council here as well to share a few words. Welcome.
To Invest Newark, to our mayor, to the Executive Director of Newark Housing Authority, we are so excited to be able to expand this notion of Newark fiber, not just throughout the city of Newark, but more importantly here in the Great South Ward. And so we welcome each and every one of you here to the South Ward. And as the former Director of Recreation, Cultural Affairs, and Senior Services, this is near and dear to my heart because during that transition in time of COVID, one of the greatest needs and one of the greatest assets that our senior population needed was to make sure that they were connected to technology. And so we are so glad that the mayor was in forefront and had the vision, wherewithal, and wisdom to want to see this come to fruition throughout the city, and more importantly down here, that gives our residents access to high-speed internet access and fiber that they can be able to utilize, and more importantly, to stay in tune with what's happening in the world at real time. And so, you know, I want to thank Invest Newark, all of you who've come together to witness this great experience as we continue to move on and know that greater things are on the horizon. So thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Councilman. Before my next speaker, just want to introduce or just acknowledge Technogrid, who did some of the work for us here. So Marlon Jenkins over here, and these guys in the neon vests over here did some of the work. So Newark natives that did some of the work here, and we're glad that we were able to align our work to include people from the city, trained on the city, working night here, which is fantastic. Our next speaker is the CEO of Invest Newark, Mr. Marcus Randolph, to share a few words. So, Marcus, if you don't mind coming up.
Thank you, Aaron. Good morning, everybody. There's been some talk this morning about vision. There's an ancient text that, when translated into English, states, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." There's some debate about the original meaning of this text, Councilman Council, but I side with those that say it means that people should articulate their vision and move others down the path toward accomplishing it. We're here today because our mayor, Ras Baraka, particularly during the COVID lockdown, saw people perishing. School-aged children, as he mentioned, not able to learn remotely because no broadband at home, perishing. The sick and afflicted not able to access telehealth professionals because no broadband at home, perishing. Young people and seniors isolated and disconnected from their loved ones, perishing. So the mayor cast a vision, which was to get affordable, reliable broadband access to Newarkers that need it the most. And today we are here celebrating the installation of Newark Fiber into the first 12 of many public housing buildings. Director Spicer. Let's give a round of applause to all those who participated in this work. I also want to thank the Invest Newark team, Newark Alliance, and the city's Office of Information and Technology. I also want to thank Andrena, Block Power, Technogrid, and of course it goes without saying that we owe a lot to our Chief Innovation Economy and Director of Broadband, Aaron Meyerson. I truly believe that this work has the potential to change lives and have a lasting impact. Congratulations to all.
Thank you kindly, Marcus. And finally, we're going to welcome the CEO of the Newark Alliance, Mr. Evan Weiss, to share some final words.
Thank you, and good morning. I think the two things I want to say is just, Aaron touched on this, and I see Technogrid here. It's an incredible project in itself, what we've all been talking about, the substance of what it means to give internet reliable, affordable, all over the city. But how it was done, I think that's the key. The Newark Alliance and Mayor Baraka launched Newark 2020 in 2017 at this point, which was a challenge for Newark Alliance members, the corporations, hospitals, universities, to buy more in Newark and to hire more in Newark. And that was agnostic to what the goal was, just to do it whether you're PSE&G or Prudential or Rutgers. And I think that spirit, that way of doing things, the broadband project just captures so perfectly. We're building one of the most innovative broadband networks in America, and who is building it, who's being trained, the companies involved. I think that's what makes it special. It's not people airdropping in from the Midwest or the South or something doing this. It's people who are right here in Newark and right here in this neighborhood. And I think the second thing is just like, this is really cool technology, but the thing that has surprised me over and over again, it is a small handful of people, like ridiculously small, who are making this all possible in Newark. when I was able to go on a tour of some of the infrastructure, led by Anthony Avent, just seeing like how this is all held together is incredible. And I think the work that Aaron is doing, Sharonda is doing, again, Anthony is doing, I just have not seen in my experience like a higher return on investment with the people who are committed to this and what they've been able to generate, and the leadership from Mayor Baraka, from Marcus at Invest Newark. It's incredible. So when we think of other challenges and energy, stormwater, whatever it might be, just seeing how we've tackled this problem, how invested in some leaders, staff has made this possible, it's incredible. And I just want to close just thanking Executive Director Spicer, being here and seeing this happen. This is not typically the kind of thing that housing authorities are able to lead on. The chair as well, her vision to make this possible here, it should be a model for other housing authorities around America. So thanks again, and just really excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Evan. That concludes our program. I know it looks great outside, but it is a little chilly, so I'll let you all go. One last shout out to Andrea McLean, who is also helping people sign up for Andrena when they were first opening. This is not just a press event, this is also a sign-up event. So for any residents in the neighboring buildings here, Andrena is here to sign you up. You can grab some swag and get online, please. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.